Yeah, I mean these things are in the Black Mirror shows. I was talking about that recently too, which is like
Oh,
transferring your consciousness into like the server or whatever it is, right? It's like
oh yeah,
same
yeah, yeah,
same
yeah.
concept kind of thing. It's like yeah, I think I see that can probably eventually happen,
Yeah,
and then
it. Okay, when people are like how possibly could that happen? That's impossible to like. No, brains are just data. But can you map out all the data? If you
mhm.
can map out all the data, you can transfer that data. It's no different than like saving onto a hard drive.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
a hard drive is just encapsulated data.
hmm
You know, AI is a string of code saved onto a hard drive somewhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, which is similar to our brains. If you could just map out all the data in our brains, you could easily transfer that. It's not magic, you know, because like people are like, how would you even like our consciousness is like intangible. How do you move the intangible? It's like so are video files. They're intangible, bro. You can't touch a video file,
hmm
but we do it, right? You know? Yeah. Like there's a logical process for this. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
you got to figure that out. That will take some time.
Yeah.
It's not an easy
Takes
process,
some
but
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, yeah, for sure. But
yeah,
I could see how it would logically get done. Just
yeah,
like
yeah,
map
yeah.
out all the data, memories, what are the actions, yeah, stuff like that. Um,
Like this is, I'm
okay.
sure it was like, how do you capture an image? Like there was no idea, or I saw
Right,
like
that's what I mean.
I
Yes.
saw like a clip.
It's intangible.
Yeah, I saw like like I'm just saying like new technology or old tech, whatever. It's like I saw like a clip where it's like I think it was like 1994, where it's like I think they're asking this guy like, what is an internet? Like there's no
That's funny.
understand. You know what I mean? It's like until we
Yeah,
figure it out, no, it's like that's why you don't understand it. It's like,
exactly, exactly, exactly. And the way it's it's being perceived to you might not be the way you thought it would have been captured. What I'm trying to say, as an example, is video
mm-hmm.
compared to photo, right?
Yeah.
How do you capture a moment in time? Okay, they figured out how to use light to save an image,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's what they used to do. Remember, like the old
Yeah. Yeah.
cameras, they put it over their heads, they like flash something, and then in that moment in time, you've like essentially saved the photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how you capture that moment, right? But how do you capture a series of moments, which is video,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, you just capture an image, an image, an image, an image. That's why it's 30 frames per second. You're watching 30 images within that one
Yeah.
second.
Yeah. So
It's
if you understand
logical,
that, yeah, exactly.
right? So when you're saying like, how do you transfer consciousness to your brain? Like, I don't know, like same way we not the same way, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
concept is similar to like a photo. We didn't know how to do it. Seemed impossible. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how are you going to capture a moment in time? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing is, unless you want to say anything else about it.
No.
Okay. Last thing is,
Or it's like wait. I just want to add that. Like it's
okay. Okay.
like the ones with the earpieces. That's an electrical signaling connecting to your brain, right? So you
Yeah.
could hear. Like that's we're already understanding little bits here how this thing works.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Our inputs for the brain. Like, okay, so we're already mapping out the brain with
Yeah.
everything we do.
Yeah.
You know, we just need to figure out how to save the brain now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, save the data from the brain. You
Yeah.
can map it out. You know what the triggers are. But it's like, how do you save it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Or maybe you don't even save it. Maybe you create a copy of it.
Or
Maybe it's
that's what
not
I'm saying. Like a
saving.
transfer. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's like you'll still have your brain, but it's an exact replica of all of your memories. You clone yourself essentially.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your brain can be cloned. It's like a Word file.
Mm-hmm.
Actually think about that. It's like a Word file. So like you can save a Word file, but then if you want to add more to it, right, you'd have to save it again, overwriting. Like, but you can only capture up to that moment of the Word file.
Yeah.
Like if we're working on a document, like, okay, let's write a whole project charter
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, you know, we're writing it and then we're like, that's all of our thoughts in that moment. Right.
Right.
So it's kind of like, that's how that cloning of our brain would be. It would just be in that moment. And then anything going forward, you'd have to create another clone
Mm-hmm.
too. But you'd still have two copies of it, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not transferring. Maybe it's copying. Maybe we're
Maybe
thinking about it wrong.
maybe that's an easier process than.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you won't have to. Or no. This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna say, "Oh, this is so trippy." This is what they're gonna do. They're going to say that they're transferring your brain to another robot.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
but what they're really doing is they're creating a clone in that robot and then killing you.
Mm-hmm. All right. 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 Right.
But that's the exact same thing as that's the mechanics for the statement. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
how do I transfer my consciousness to a robot? Okay, well, the easiest thing to do would be clone you, clone all the data, put it in the robot, and then kill you, delete your file. Because then
Mm-hmm.
you would be transferred into that robot
Yeah.
because there'd be no two yous, there'd only be one you.
This sounds like a movie, though. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Sounds familiar to a movie. I don't recall, but what it is, but it sounds something similar.
Okay. Is it that Ryan Reynolds movie?
I'm not sure.
Selfless?
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe that one. I don't know. There was another one called Altered Carbon. Was that? I don't know what that one was like.
I haven't seen that. Altered Carbon.
I don't know. It sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
But taking that example that I said, like how the statement and the mechanics are totally different, but you accomplish the statement through mechanics that you didn't intend,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Right.
I'm just cloning you and then killing you. But that's the exact same thing as like the photo. How do you capture a moment in time? You're taking the statement and you're creating mechanics. Like however you conceptualize that, I've accomplished your statement.
Okay. Right.
I've completed the objective.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've captured a moment in time.
Right. Right. Right.
You didn't tell me how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just told me what to do. What you wanted.
Right.